All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Okay, so Bitcoin did get the confirmed swing failure pattern of the lows, of the range lows yesterday, and we are getting a push up overnight and today back within our volume profile, our upper range volume profile that has been going on since May 8th. So for about 3 weeks now, close to a month, Bitcoin has been ranging within this range. And we were looking yesterday for a drop to the local lows of the range to grab liquidity and to see a move up. Yesterday during the video, I was talking about the lack of confirmations on the chart as far as bull divs and money flow in order to look for a long here. But I did describe how I took the long based off of a confirmed swing failure pattern, a pierce of the low, and then a re-entry above, re-acceptance above those lows. And I am still long from this area. But yesterday in the video, I did talk about a possible rejection from the value area low of the range at 102.5 based off some of the bearish signals we were seeing on our indicators. Now you can see here we did break up into that level. Let me actually zoom in on the 15-minute chart here. And as we were coming up into that area, we did get, and let me pull this back just a bit here. All right. We did get the push up towards that value area low, and we weren't looking the most bullish on the charts. So I did do a TP1, take profit one at 102.5, and I moved my stop loss up to break even. So now guaranteed winning trade. And I was looking for a possible rejection from that value area low. But you can see we busted above the value area low, was able to kind of even come back on very low time frames and back test that value area low. Like if we go on the 5-minute chart here, you can see broke above it, back tested it. Let me just move this all the way now. Broke above it, back tested it. And as we back tested that value area low, if we turn on our volume, you can see on the back test, we did have some volume step in on the charts, and we were able to get buyers buying the bullish back test, the very, very low time frame bullish back test of re-entry back within our range, which gave me a hint that we were going to work our way up at least to the point of control of the range, where you can see we did continue to work up to the point of control of the range. Saw a very small rejection from point of control, but then ultimately broke the point of control and flipped that to support. And we are continuing above the point of control. So what is important here is we have found reacceptance back within our volume profile after grabbing the range low liquidity, showing that Bitcoin might be due for a bigger push to the upside, a bigger correction to the upside. So there's a couple levels that I'm looking at on Bitcoin to the upside. And if we go ahead and look at the charts here, the two purple boxes of resistance that I have on my chart here are the first box here is around 106.3 to 106.7. This is going to be where our anchored VWAP from the all-time high is coming in. We have our macro value area high of our 6-month range, which is a back test, a bearish, would be another bearish back test of that value area high. And we have a new naked daily point of control there. And then, of course, our pitchfork midline is very close by as well. So this is one area where I am concerned. We could see a rejection from this area. We also have local liquidity from yesterday's highs that is riding right up into that. So a swing failure pattern of yesterday's highs into this box of resistance could give us a reaction to the downside. And then if we can break above this box, the next box I'm looking at on the charts of resistance was the same area I talked about in yesterday's video. That is going to be the value area high of our range that we've been in for about a month in confluence with our golden pocket. And depending on time, if enough time elapses over the weekend, now that we are in weekend price action, we can expect slow, low volume grinding price action. But if we do see like a 3-wave move up to that area, in some time elapses, our pitchfork midline would be in confluence with that value area low, or value area high, excuse me, and the golden pocket. And that is another area where we could see a rejection and a continuation down on Bitcoin. But right now, overall, we are still just ranging on Bitcoin. We did grab the range low liquidity, and we are back with inside the volume profile. So we'll just continue to trade the range until it breaks. There is a few things I would like to talk about on larger time frames. So let's actually go ahead and zoom out onto the daily chart. And let me hide that smaller range so we can clean up this chart. Let me hide a couple things here on the chart. Hide that. Let's hide that. Okay. And let me go ahead and turn off those resistances. And one thing that I would like to discuss is we were looking at on more macro timeframes. We've been ranging within this volume profile. Pretty much, this has been the fair value of Bitcoin between 88K and 106K for the entire year of 2025. This has been considered the fair value for Bitcoin. We did try to break out of not only the value area high of our range, but of all-time highs. And we saw that sort of failed auction type price action that happened. And we decided to break back within the volume profile, finding reacceptance back within the volume profile, closing multiple daily candles back inside the volume profile. So since we were closing multiple daily candles back inside the volume profile, what we were watching for is a move up to that value area high on a bearish back test. And if we did reject from this area, we could expect new lows to come in on the charts. Well, on Tuesday, we did come up, bearishly backtest and rejected. And then, of course, you saw yesterday, we finally got some follow through on the dump, taking the liquidity of the range lows. And now today, we are getting a pretty bullish daily candle here, reclaiming most of the red from yesterday. The momentum wave is starting to look bottomed out here, and we close the daily in about an hour here. And if this daily candle closes bullish as this, we might start to see this momentum wave round off here. And our money flow is trying to come up here again on the daily chart. So this could just be a fake out to the downside with the liquidity grab of the range lows and continuation up to break out to new all-time highs. But I would like to discuss, I've been talking about the impulse to the downside over the past few days on the charts. And even though we have looks like this impulse did play out and has completed. I mean, we did see a lot of confluence for this impulse to play out. We rejected from the area where we were supposed to reject in a wave 4 between the 382 and the 0.5. And in our wave 5 down, we did bounce from the 1.618, which is one of the targets you're expecting a bounce from. So as far as technical levels, Fibonacci levels, it does look like this could be an impulse. But there is a couple problems with this being an impulse. And primarily the main problem with this being an impulse, and yesterday I was talking about potentially another low coming in on the charts into the pitchfork band. And the reason why is because if we look at this last push down, let me go ahead and zoom in on the 30, let's do the 45-minute chart here. And in this last push down from our wave 4 highs, we wanted to see another 5-wave impulse to the downside. And you can see here, this is clearly a 3-wave corrective move. We got our bottom, and we have now broken our local golden pocket of the wave 3 down, invalidating a potential impulse to the downside. So this entire move down, there's a couple problems with this being an impulse. First off, I described this at the beginning of the week, but we did see a little bit of overlap between the lows of wave 1 and the highs of wave 4. Generally, that invalidates an impulse to the downside. Now, in crypto, I have seen a couple times where we do actually see a little bit of overlap and the impulse continues to play out to the downside. And in this case, it did continue to play out to the downside. But also in your wave 5 to the downside, you want to see a 5-wave structure to the downside within the wave 5 of the bigger impulse. And within the wave 5 of the bigger impulse. And we did not see that. We ended this on a 3-wave corrective move, and now we are pushing up again. So a little bit of concern about this being a completed 5-wave impulse, and then we're going to see a 3-wave corrective move, and then another 5-wave impulse to the downside in our bigger ABC because of some of the problems with this structure to the downside. So if you're not clear on the Elliott structure or Elliott count, you just mark out your levels and trade your levels if you get if your levels of interest get hit with confirmations on the chart. So I showed you guys the 2 levels of resistance that I'm looking at. Primarily 106.5 and then 107.9. And then if we do continue to dump to the downside, I do think there is a higher probability of us to continue down to 97K to about 96.5K based off of us still closing daily candles within the bigger volume profile. So to me, as long as we are closing daily candles with inside this volume profile here, we do have a higher likelihood, and actually it goes down to here, within this volume profile, we do have a lot higher likelihood of continuing the grind down to 97K. But we could see, of course, we're probably going to see bounces along the way, and there is a possibility that this was just a more complex correction to the downside to grab our range low liquidity. And if we do find reacceptance back above the macro value area high and the pitchfork midline, we could break out up to new all-time highs, potentially much higher. Okay, that is pretty much all that I'm looking at on Bitcoin. I am also following a new channel that we have on Bitcoin, this descending channel here. If we go ahead and throw this descending channel on the chart, we do have the deviation at the low here. But other than that, this channel is being highly respected. You can see we are rejecting from the midline of this channel right now. And what I'm going to be looking for now, since we have grabbed the liquidity and re-entered back within our volume profiles. Let me go ahead and turn this channel off, and let me turn on that small volume profile, the month-long volume profile. Now that we have re-entered back within this volume profile and even busted above the point of control, showing that buyers are willing to still trade the fair value of Bitcoin within this volume profile, I am looking over the weekend for a bit of a correction, another push to the downside, potentially to backtest our value area low of the range to flip it to support and continue to work our way up to the value area high of the range at 107.9, or we could find that resistance once again at 106.5 area. But we'll go ahead and pull our golden pocket. If we pull our golden pocket from yesterday's lows to today's highs, you can see that golden pocket is coming in right around the value area low of our range. And so if we do continue to see a drop, we are slowly grinding to the downside right now with Bitcoin. And if we do continue to see a drop here on Bitcoin, to come down to that local golden pocket to make a higher low and the bullish backtest of the value area low, this could be a nice scalp long opportunity. If you did not catch the swing failure pattern of the low yesterday, you could be looking around 102,300 for a bounce, making a higher low on Bitcoin and bringing it up to at least 106.5 or maybe even higher. Money flow looks pretty good here on the 30-minute. You can see it's rising to the upside. We did just get the green dot, and also we are printing a hidden bull div on NAMI here. And then, of course, NAMI's money flow is starting to curve up as well. If we look at, let's zoom out to the hourly chart. And yesterday, our money flow looks pretty bad on the hourly. Now you can see money flow is now crossing up into the green. It's just now crossing back down into the red, but it will cross if we do drop slowly over the weekend, grind down to this golden pocket. We do expect a bit of some drop on money flow, but overall we are seeing, and then of course this signal here we cannot ignore. Near the highs of today, we did print a hidden bearish div signal showing that the continuation to the downside might be continuing. But we are also printing a hidden bull div right now on the low that we are making right now. So higher lows on the price action, lower lows on the momentum waves. Now, the NAMI's kind of calculating this weird from there. But we are going to be paying attention to those hidden bull and hidden bear div signals. Let's zoom out to the 4-hour chart. And on the 4-hour chart, you can see our momentum wave has bottomed out with a 4-hour green dot. But our money flow is also starting to round out here. But we do not have any bull divs on the chart. So lower lows on the price action, but also lower lows on your momentum waves and lower lows on your money flow. If this was going to be a major low on Bitcoin, this liquidity grab, I would expect to see at least some intermediate time frame bull divs on the chart, and we are not seeing any intermediate time frame bull divs on the chart. That tells me that we are probably going to continue ranging throughout the weekend, potentially coming back down to that 102.3 area, seeing a bounce from the value area low and then continuing up to 107.9. And then once we get up there, we'll have to see how the data looks on the chart. But yes, as long as we are under the macro value area high at 106.5, we do have a higher probability of kind of grinding our way down over the next couple weeks down to 97K to 96.5K. Okay, let's go ahead now and let's go on to our CVD and open interest charts. Let me just go ahead and refresh this. Okay, so as we were coming down into our lows yesterday, you can see we had a lot of shorts fueling this push down yesterday. This was actually a healthy push down that we saw yesterday because you can see our CVD is dropping, means market participants are shorting the market. And for a majority of this drop, our open interest was increasing here. showing that new buyers were stepping into the market. Those buyers were short positions, and those shorts were successfully pushing the price of Bitcoin down to make new lows. Of course, towards the end of the push, we did start to see big liquidations, which is a sign that we could get a reversal on a swing failure pattern. Those liquidations occurred, stopping out late longers, making them close their positions. And now today we are seeing a slow rise in CVD while our open interest is rising. So pretty much what we saw is some buyers stepping in on the lows of the swing failure pattern, on the confirmed swing failure pattern of the ranged lows. We saw some buyers step in and look to long this, and I was one of those. Then, of course, we did get a bit of a short squeeze earlier today. Saw a short squeeze that we continue to push to the upside here on a short squeeze, breaking through that point of control. And yeah, now we're seeing fresh shorts coming in towards the top up here as well. You can see CBD is decreasing, open interest is increasing here. So towards the top up here, we're top of today's move, we are seeing some shorts come in. But here's the thing, guys. If the shorts do not successfully push the price of Bitcoin down, we could see another short squeeze occurring on the charts here. We are already getting some of a squeeze here already, or just positions closing out. It's kind of boring. We know that a lot of positions close out going into the weekend here, but nothing too much right now as far as bias, bullish or bearish bias on the open interest. There's the potential that we could form some bullish CVD on the charts if we do come down to that golden pocket at 102,300 and our CVD continues to drop lower and lower. We will be seeing some bullish CVD on the charts, and that would be one confirmation to look for a long from that golden pocket. Okay, and then is our liquidation heat map here. Let's go to the last week of price action. You can see that the majority of the liquidity is above us into that 107K area. And actually, let's zoom out to the last month because this range is almost a month long. If we zoom out to the past month and look at this range that we have been in, you can see all the liquidity pretty much to the upside and to the downside has now been taken out. You can see our liquidity from yesterday has been taken out, and our major liquidity is resting way down below at 77K near the impulse lows. Let's go ahead and go on to the Bybit chart and let's check Bybit out and see how Bybit looks over the past month. Okay, and for Bybit, it looks a little bit different. We do have our liquidity below yesterday's lows. And here's the thing, guys. On yesterday's lows, we did front run our pitchfork band of support that we were looking at. And we also do have a naked daily point of control down there as well. So we could see one more dump down to SFP, the SFP, and hit into that naked daily point of control that is down there. We'll have to see how that plays out as we're coming into this golden pocket. If we are continuing to see bullish absorption, I will attempt to add to my long position, but there is a possibility with the liquidity below us that we can continue to drop. Okay, that is about it. Honestly, though, for Bitcoin, not too much happening. We did get the push back into the volume profile. As long as we are back with inside this volume profile and holding the value area low, we probably can work our way up to those purple resistance boxes that I described to you at 106.5 and 107.9. That's these guys right up here. At 106.5, we have the anchored VWAP from the all-time high. We have our macro value area high, pitchfork midline, and a naked daily point of control, a new naked daily point of control. And then at our 107.9 area, we have the value area high of our 3-week range or our month-long range in confluence with our golden pocket of the entire push down. And then if enough time elapses, our pitchfork midline will also be up in that area. Okay, we do have a couple sponsors of the channel. First sponsor is BYDFI. They are a non-KYC and non-VPN exchange, so no KYC or VPN required. All you need is an email and a password. Just takes a couple minutes to sign up. They are offering up to 15% cash back on your initial deposit, up to $1,000 cash back, and they are also offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses depending on how much volume you move. They are offering, if you use my affiliate link, up to a 17% discount on trading fees, and those trading fees can be discounted higher depending on how much you deposit into the exchange. So links in the description for BYDFI. If you want to help out the channel, that's a great way to help out the channel. The next sponsor of the channel is MEXC. They are offering 10% cash back on your initial deposit and up to $20,000 in futures trading bonuses. Link is in the description for them as well. And then lastly, we do have NAMI down here. NAMI is a new indicator that I've been using for entry and exit confirmations on trades. this indicator is running a 50% off special right now just for my channel. And the code, a discount code is in the description. Divine50 is the discount code, and the affiliate link is in the description as well. So if you want to check out NAMI, right now is a good time to check it out. That 50% code will not last forever. Okay, let's go ahead and get back to the TA. Let's go on to Ethereum. Now, guys, Ethereum did see that very, very nice rejection from the pitchfork band, the upper band that we have been chopping around in. You can see multiple rejections from that upper band. And it was in confluence with the golden pocket. I showed you guys that yesterday. I did short that resistance. And we dumped we dumped back inside our volume profile, had the bearish back test, and then we saw the big dump all the way through our volume profile. And we did come to our macro 382, or our 382 of the big daily impulse, of our third wave on the daily impulse. And we've been trading within this range for about a month. We've been looking at our bigger double 1-2 impulse. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is our wave 1, our wave 2, 1, 2, then our big third wave. And we could potentially be in a 4 now and then see 5 and then a 4. We'll want to see 2 4 5s as well. But one of the things that we were looking at is this first correction in our wave 2 was 13 days long. Our second correction in our wave 2 was also 13 days long. And generally your wave 4 corrections do tend to last as long as or longer than your wave 2 corrections. And one of the things that I was looking at prior is this being a potential the first fourth wave correction to the downside, but we did only have 5 days elapse in between then. So as far as our Fibonacci target area, we did hit the target area, which is between the 0.382 and the 0.5, but time-wise, the time wasn't the cleanest. We did it a bit quickly. So maybe this entire range is part of a flat fourth wave correction, and there is still a possibility of coming down, grabbing the range lows into our 0.5, completing our fourth wave correction to the downside before seeing a fifth wave up, possibly to that weekly at 28.19, and then maybe seeing one more 4-5 as well to the upside, ultimately ending the impulse of Ethereum at this area between the golden pocket, the pitchfork top, and a naked weekly point of control that's up there as well. Naked weekly point of control is at 3,100, 31-ish. Let's see. Oop, that's monthly. 3136 there. Okay, so for Ethereum, though, we are back with inside our volume profile. So let's go ahead and zoom back in on the charts here, and we'll talk about Ethereum more locally. Let's go to the 30-minute chart. We are still trading within the range. We did see that loss of the range value area low yesterday, but when we bounced from our 382 again, we bounced a second time for the 382, and we have managed to get back inside our volume profile. You can see we almost came up to our resistance that we were looking at. We front ran it just by a bit. And now we are in the process of the bullish backtest of the value area low and the VWAP. Right now, as I'm making this video, we are testing that level. So this is what's going to be key that happens on the charts right now. We are either going to be able to hold the backtest of this value area low and confirm reacceptance back within the volume profile and push our way up. Our local golden pocket of this move down is in confluence with your point of control. And then you can also see our pitchfork band. The lower part of the pitchfork band is there. So this is the first local resistance above between 2540 and 2551. And then if we break that, I do think we could push all the way up to, I mean, we have our bigger golden pocket. Let me talk about that first. If we pull our golden pocket from the rejection highs down to our lows, you can see that golden pocket is just above, and you can see this is also an important support resistance flip area, where if we look at prior, this was prior support, you know, in here, this range, and now it could be flipped into resistance. And then if we continue to pull this sideways, you can see that it also corresponds with support and resistance throughout this range. Resistance, 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 support, support, then resistance again. So an important support resistance flip around that 2567 to 2577 golden pocket. I'm not too interested in looking for shorts from here, even though it could be an area to create an overall lower high. But if we're looking at the overall range and we take our golden pocket from the range highs to yesterday's lows, This golden pocket is the one that I'm far more interested in. So we have our very local golden pocket at the point of control and at the bottom of our band. And then we have the value area high of our month long range in confluence with our entire push downs golden pocket, very similar to Bitcoin's 107.9K area of resistance. And by the time we crawl up there or grind our way up there, we could be seeing the upper band once again acting as resistance in confluence with the golden pocket. So that's my main area of resistance that I'm going to be watching here is between 2647. Let's grab this. So this area in here, and that is going to be golden pockets, value area high, pitchfork band. Okay, and then let's double check our. I'm going to go ahead and delete that now, and we'll go ahead and delete that now. Okay, and yeah, so point naked daily point of controls underneath it, a little bit underneath it, but I would primarily be looking at this general area where the naked daily point of control up to that value area high in this general area to look for a lower high to come in to continue to break down. And the reason why I say that is because if this is going to be a larger wave four, I would still like to come down one more time to actually tap that zero point 0.5 or at least take our range low liquidity. Yesterday, Bitcoin came down to its month long range and grabbed the liquidity, and we saw a nice move up. So far, Ethereum has not taken out the lows of its range and grabbed and stopped out all that liquidity before making another continued move to the upside. So I am watching above us, really primarily that value area high around 2645. And then below us, I'm looking at the swing failure pattern of 2323, possibly down to 2260, where our 0.5 is bigger 0.5 Fibonacci target. Right now, and like I mean literally like right now, we are back testing the anchored VWAP and the value area low. So if we can hold this level here, we can probably continue to work our way up to the resistance before seeing a bigger drop. If we do reject or if we do lose our value area low again, I do think there's a high probability that we could come down and make new lows first. You can see money flow on the 12-minute is now crossing over into the red again. We have no bull divs here. And so it's not looking the best locally right now. We could still get the bounce, but it's not looking the best. If we zoom out onto the hourly chart, you can see market cipher B on the hourly. Our money flow is draining out of the asset again. And we are printing some hidden bull divs on the hourly, though, on NAMI. And that's a kind of a nice signal to see. So a little bit of mixed signals here. Let's zoom out to the 4-hour chart. Yeah, money flow still looks overall bearish here on the 4-hour chart. So this could have been an attempt to get back within our range and a rejection, and now we're going to continue down to make new lows. But yeah, overall, I do think Ethereum is going to continue to the upside. It's just, are we going to come down and take out our range lows first? And I do think that is a probability that we could come down and take those range lows. I believe we do. I have a support box down here, but I believe we have some other support that is in this area. Let's go ahead and look at some of our levels. Okay, weekly levels. Oh, looks okay. Daily levels. No, but we did bounce from the naked daily point of control. That's another reason we bounced on Ethereum. It was our 382, but it was also a naked daily point of control. So if I go ahead and throw that on the chart here, you will see that area is where we were bouncing. I think I described this to you guys in yesterday's video as well. It was the last naked daily point of control of our range, the lowest naked daily point of control. So now I'm going to go ahead and delete that naked daily point of control because it has been tapped. And then we can just pay attention to, yeah, that's about it. So there's not much other confluence in this area down below us for, yeah, in this whole entire range, we really don't have too much going for us. So I would expect to come down to sweep our range lows if this value area low doesn't hold. Now we also could look at the local golden pocket just like we're doing on Bitcoin. If we zoom back in onto the hourly chart and pull that golden pocket from our yesterday's lows to today's highs, this golden pocket is coming in around 24.36 to 24.40. I don't like it too much. It's the only thing that's around here. And there's a possibility we could bounce from here, but it's not looking the best for Ethereum. And if we do start closing back underneath our volume profile, it would really show me that we rejected from value area high, lost the volume profile, tried to get back within it, failed, and now we have a possibility to come down and make new lows. Okay, that is about it for Ethereum. Let's go on to Solana. Now, guys, Solana, I did describe this in yesterday's video, but one of the cleanest 5-wave impulses to the downside that we've seen. So after the 5-wave impulse to the downside finishes, we are expecting a bigger 3-wave corrective move up. I did tell you guys yesterday, I longed the reclaim of the point of control. What I was looking for is this green box here to be a major support level. We have a weekly down here. We have our macro range POC, anchored VWAP. We had some naked daily points of control down here. Let me actually go ahead and turn those on and delete those now. Now that they have been touched, we can go ahead and get rid of these naked daily points of controls. Get rid of that one, and we can get rid of that one. And yeah, so I'm looking at now, once we reclaimed our point of control, I did long. My stop is underneath the low here. And I am looking for Solana to make a bigger push to the upside, up to potentially 170. Let me turn on some of these levels and see. Okay, no new naked weeklies. Naked monthly. Okay, let me double check this because naked weekly point of control. Okay, and let's look at our naked monthlies. I believe that's a naked monthly because it's in my naked monthly chart. I've just labeled it wrong. Yes, okay, so we do have a naked monthly point of control at that golden pocket as well. So let me go ahead and fix that naked monthly point of control. Okay, so at that 170-ish level, we have our naked monthly point of control in confluence with the range point of control of our upper range that we lost. And that is also our golden pocket of the entire push down. So if we are going to see a lower high come in on Solana, that 170 area is the area where we really want to be looking for a potential rejection. If we are going to see a bit of a push up in a 3-wave move, up into that area, maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a bigger correction, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for your bigger A, B, C, push up into 170, and then we could see that rejection from that area. We do have to be aware of this area between 163.8 and 165. So we obviously have the liquidity grab of our Tuesday's highs up there, but you can see that anchored VWAP that was acting as support through this whole upper range, it could now be flipped into resistance. So we have our anchored VWAP up there, we have our 0.5, and we have the liquidity grab that's up there as well. This is an area where I will be interested in at least a TP level and potentially a short, depending on if we get the confirmed swing failure pattern. If we don't, we just look up to the next level of resistance, which is 170. Let's actually throw that on the chart here, and this is going to be not value area high, POC. Okay, and then to the downside now, unfortunately, it does look like this impulse is finished. We showed the Fibonacci levels. We hit the 1.618 perfect here. We did retrace up to our wave 4 resistance target, Fibonacci resistance here. We rejected from that resistance, and then we did crash down in our wave 5 all the way down to our 1.618. which we did get a perfect bounce from there. But once again, guys, as far as this structure goes on the impulse to the downside, the only concern I have is that this last fifth wave move to the downside here, we do not see a clear 5 waves. This looks more 3-wave corrective. And so maybe we're going to see a 4 and then one more low come in for a 5 before before ultimately finishing this impulse and seeing that bigger correction to the upside. The issue with that is this point of control at 143.5 is our major point of control of our range. And if we do lose it again, it's not going to look good for Solana. It will look like Solana's pretty weak here. We do have one thing that we did not do yesterday that would have been really nice to do. Let me just go ahead and zoom out real quick on the 4-hour chart. And if we look at our prior range lows, which are right here at 140, we front ran the SFP of our prior range lows at 140. So one of the things that I will be looking at is an SFP of yesterday's low and the range lows. And then we do have a daily that's coming in around 136. Let's go ahead and turn on our daily levels here. Yeah, daily level that's coming in right around 136.6. Okay, yeah, so I would be looking at the SFP of 140, potentially down to 136.6. I know that's kind of a long SFP, but that's kind of the next area if we are going to continue this drop to the downside. Very locally, if we look at the push up that we saw today, and we just are expecting this overall green box to that this was maybe a low and this green box is going to hold, then we can take our golden pocket from yesterday's lows to today's highs, and you can see that golden pocket is coming in right around the anchored VWAP, which is a key anchored VWAP, and it's in our box of support. So this area here, we could get the bounce from 145, 145.3, but yeah, money flow doesn't look the best here. We have no bull divs on the chart. Not actually, Nami is showing some very local bull divs here. Very local bull divs on Nami. But it just doesn't look the best for me. And then if we zoom out to the 4-hour chart, you can see money flow looks pretty bearish here, still coming out on both Market Cipher B and Nami. And overall, the charts, the indications on the chart are kind of bearish, leaning more towards bearish. 8-hour. Okay, 8-hour, we are developing some nice bull divs, and actually those bull divs have been confirmed here. We are at our major support level, and what I have to say is on Solana, this range that we've been in since March of 2024, it's our range, our upper range since March of 2024. We did not quite make it up to the value area high of the range, but we are above the point of control. So as long as we're above the point of control, that is considered the fair value for Solana over the, since March of 2024. So if the market is bullish on Solana, we will see buyers step in this general area and be willing to buy Solana to bring it up to higher prices, potentially up to our overvalued region at 193, 192. I am long on Solana, and I'm still in that long, and I plan to hold that long. And then even if we do come down in SFP the 140, if we see a clean SFP of 140, I will look to re-enter on that long. But yeah, that's about it. We have our 2 resistances to the upside that I'm paying attention to, and then to the downside, the SFP of 140. We have a daily at 136.6. And, this box here, I'm no longer really paying attention to this box. Let's actually look. Is our pitchfork still there? That's not that one. Actually, that one we can get rid of. Ooh, actually, see, this is really nice to see. So let me... Okay, yeah, we are at support for sure. But if we turn on our bearish pitchfork where we broke out of it, found it as support here, and then pushed up to higher prices, you can see where we just below our range lows at 140 is our pitchfork band, another bullish, a higher time frame bullish backtest. So we were able to break out of the pitchfork, hold it as support through this range, and then make another impulse to the upside. We failed in this range, and we're now breaking back down into our prior fair value in this area. But that's also another bullish backtest of that pitchfork. So it's a higher time frame bullish backtest. We had our immediate bullish backtest in this range, and now we could see a higher time frame bullish backtest and the liquidity grab of the range lows before continuing that push up to the value area high at 192. So yeah, 140 is an area I would be interested in looking for long. We are seeing some bull divs on the 8 hour, bull divs on NAMI on the 8 hour. And then if we zoom out to the 12 daily chart here, daily chart money, your momentum wave's not quite bottomed out, but if we close in about 30 minutes with a relatively good green candle here, we could see this thing start to round off and we could maybe print a green dot the next day. Money flow looks pretty bearish on NAMI actually, and then on Market Cipher B, it is still draining out. So we have to be aware of this. But if this is kind of the level to hold, this general area we're at right now, 143 down to 140-ish. If this doesn't hold, we can expect to drop much, much lower. Let me check. Let's go ahead and get rid of this box. I'm no longer looking at that box. Yeah, and if we do drop, I'm expecting us to drop to our monthly around 124.5, which is where our lower band of the pitchfork is and our value area low of our macro range is as well. There we go. Okay, so that is about it for Solana. Actually, before we do that, let's check our new naked daily point of controls. Okay, let's turn on those. Okay, we do have a couple naked daily points of controls. I'll mark those out actually afterwards. We're about to close and form another new naked daily point of control, but yesterday's naked daily point of control is right around 154. So that is going to be a new naked daily point of control. Where's that sucker at? Okay, and that could be. Now, there's not too much else there. Just like an SFP of today's highs into that naked daily point of control. It is sort of a support resistance flip area as well. You can see it was the highs of this range and it was trying to act as support in here. So now it could potentially act as a resistance. We'll have to pay attention if we do start to reject from there. We could be seeing a three-wave corrective move up to that area and then continue to drop to 140. So potential rejection area to be aware of. Okay, on to Sui. Now, guys, Sui did bounce perfect from the bottom of our channel. And I've been talking about the bottom of this channel. If you look at any of my videos the last week, we formed this channel based off the two major highs and we bring it down to the prior range lows. We did get the SFP of those range lows on, what was that, Tuesday or Friday, and we got a nice scalp trade off of that SFP of the range lows. Ultimately, we rejected, made a lower high, and now we dumped to the bottom of the channel. And I did say that I would be looking for long at the bottom of this descending channel. You can see we are getting a nice push up from the bottom of our channel here. And we could push up all the way to that midline area, that box of resistance, 344 to 350. We do have a naked daily point of control a little bit before that. And I believe that is close to our 786. Yeah, 786 naked daily point of control. Could be a resistance that we reject at in this general area. But really, I'm looking for a push up to the purple box here where you can see we would see an SFP of the highs into that purple box and then see another continuation. Money flow on the hourly chart looks very good on SUI. We are getting a nice push up here on SUI. And then if we zoom out onto the 4-hour, yeah, 4-hour is still not looking the best yet. Money flow still draining out of the asset on the 4-hour. No bull divs on the 4-hour. No bull divs on the 4-hour. And yeah, the thing is, if we lose this descending channel, we are probably going to see a bigger move down into this purple box between 243 and 226. Because if we look at this structure here, it was a quick move up. So if you start to break this little consolidation that we are bouncing from right now, probably an order block in there, if we, a daily order block, if we break this low here, then we could see a quick sweep down to our next box of support. So SUI is at support. It is seeing a nice reaction from support, but I would be looking with the based off the money flow that we're seeing, I would be looking for at least some consolidation towards the bottom of the channel and possibly even a breakdown of the channel. Let's actually look on the 8-hour and see if we're seeing bull divs on the 8-hour. No bull divs on the 8-hour. Unlike Solana, we are not seeing bull divs on the 8-hour. And then if we go to the daily chart, yeah, daily is a momentum wave. Looks like it's starting to bottom out, but look at we're printing hidden bear div signal here. You know, 2 bear div signals printed by hidden bear div. Our money flow has been draining out of the asset and continuing to drain out. No daily bull divs. So it is at support, but I would like to see, I think we're going to see at least another push down and start to range around the bottom of the channel for a bit and then see a big push up. That's what would be the nicest thing to see. And if we do hit into the bottom of the channel again, like if we take some time over the weekend to range and then we come down to the bottom of the channel, again, seeing a swing failure pattern of yesterday's lows into the bottom of the channel, I would look for a long off that confirmed swing failure pattern. Only if we pierce the level and get back above it will I look to re-enter. So actually we'll set an alert on that low. There we go. And that's about it for SUI. Let's go on to XRP. XRP, guys, pretty much nothing has happened from yesterday's video. I did tell you in yesterday's video, one of the things that we were looking for, because we did not come down and actually touch the value area low, we did bounce from our monthly and our weekly, but we did not come down and touch the value area low. We were looking for potentially coming back down to take the lows again. SFPR weekend lows, which is Saturday low, weekend lows often get taken out. SFPR weekend low into actually touching the value area low. And we did get that reaction happen yesterday, and we are getting a decent push up off of that reaction. It doesn't look like I mean, we are seeing some nice 8-hour bull divs here. Lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum waves, and our money flow is curving up here. Also, the bull divs on NAMI, money flow crossing into the green on NAMI. And I have been saying for a couple weeks now that since we lost the point of control up here at 241, the highest probability for XRP was to continue to grind its way down to the value area low. And now that we are here, this really is a key support level to hold. It's the value area low of our range of the last 6 months. And this is where the asset has been considered undervalued for the last 6 months for the whole year of 2025. So if buyers are willing to step in and buy here, which it does look like, if we zoom out onto the daily chart, let's go onto the daily chart here. And we look every time we come down to this value area low, we do see some buyers step in. And over these last 2 touches, every time we come down to this value area low, we are seeing buying stepping in. I do think, and we are potentially creating bull divs here on the daily time frame. So lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum waves, and then also higher lows on the momentum waves here. Money flow is curving back to the upside on the NAMI indicator. So I do think this is a big possibility that XRP holds this value area low and we get a push up, at least up to the point of control up here around 242. But potentially a much bigger breakout to the upside. So that's about it for XRP. It is seeing a nice bounce. Let's see if we can't, as far as the lower time frame goes though, lower time frames, money flow looks pretty bearish here, and we were seeing some bear divs, yeah, or not quite bear divs, it's more like equal highs here. But you can see NAMI printed those bear divs earlier today as we were coming up into today's highs. Here, higher highs here, lower highs here, bear divs, and our money flow is now crossing over into the red on NAMI, and it is draining back out on Market Cipher B. So I'm potentially interested in looking at this local golden pocket though. With the higher time frame bull divs we are seeing at the value area low, if we pull our golden pocket here, okay, and we look at golden pockets. Okay, around 210, we could find some support around 210, and that might be a nice long opportunity here for XRP to make a higher low and then continue that big push to the upside on XRP. Let's go ahead and turn on our naked daily points of control, and let's see if we have any naked dailies. Okay, just above us, we have that fresh naked daily. And let's see here, naked dailies. Okay, this one has been tapped, so we can go ahead and get rid of that one. That was a fresh one until we tapped into it today. So you can see we're kind of rejecting from a naked daily point of control. And we have yesterday's now, which is going to be right up here. That's at pretty much 220. So we'll fix that. 220. Okay. And then, of course, we do have a naked daily point of control. This one's also been tapped. So let me fix that one at 223.65. 22365. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I do think XRP does have a high probability to hold this value area low and make a bigger move to the upside, at least up to 241 to 245. But if we break that, what we would really want to see on XRP is if we're going to start to impulse up out of here, maybe a break through this point of control this time up to the value area high, reject from value area high, but we would also be breaking out of our channel that has rejected us multiple times. And then we could see a bullish backtest of that point of control in confluence with the channel, and then that big push up to 312 or 302. We have a weekly up at 302. Okay, next up is Chainlink. And Chainlink is coming down into that golden pocket that we described. We did see, we were looking to come down to this golden pocket based off of losing the pitchfork band of support. So pretty much the same thing I described yesterday, guys. We lost the pitchfork band of support. We lost the point of control. We lost the anchored VWAP. So next thing is to drop down into our macro golden pocket. You can see we are seeing a bounce from that general area, the liquidity grab into the golden pocket. And getting a nice reaction so far. We're back above the golden pocket here, but we are printing some hidden bear divs today on the 3-hour time frame. Just now, printing some hidden bear divs on this lower high, and there is a potential that we could continue to grind down. Yeah, hidden bear divs also on the hourly chart. There's a potential that we could grind down a bit lower to our 786 in the bottom of our pitchfork around 11.8 to 11.6. I would be interested in looking for a long from that area. Now, as long as we're above this golden pocket, I think I am long from around 13 bucks. And I will be looking to take some profit at this point of control. So this point of control, you can see if we just pull this all the way, we do have some internal highs, an SFP of internal highs into the point of control around 14.1. And then if we break above that, I believe let's go ahead and pull a golden pocket as well. Okay, 786 is going to be right at that point of control. So yeah, 786 point of control at 14.1 could be a potential rejection area. And let's go ahead and pull our volume profile of just this last month, kind of like all the other coins we're trading within this volume profile. Okay. And then let's pull our bigger golden pocket from the highs. Let me zoom out on this. Okay, golden pocket. Yeah, and this golden pocket around 15.9 to 16.1 could be nice because by the time we get up there, we could be in confluence with the top of the pitchfork band again. And then also, if we look at one more range, this upper range, it's the point of control of this upper range. So good, nice area to look for rejection, 15.9 to 16.1. But as long as we're below the value area low of this last month of volume profile, then we can probably expect to continue to grind down lower and lower and lower. 4-hour is showing some bull divs on Market Cipher B, and money flow does look to be bottoming out here on Market Cipher B into that golden pocket. So, the golden pocket and the bull div should give us at least a push up to bearishly backtest that value area low. Just like with Bitcoin, if we can get back with inside that volume profile, we could probably work our way up to the point of control. If we can't get back with inside, we probably reject and come down to the 786. Let's look at the 8-hour chart. 8 hour, we are seeing nice bull divs, money flow crossing up, bull divs, money flow crossing up. So yeah, this golden pocket might actually hold. We might actually get a bigger push up from this area. Nice golden pocket push. And if we are going to get that bigger push up, then yeah, that 16.1 area, if we're going to put in a higher low or a lower high, excuse me, after this impulse down, put in a lower high and then continue the grind down, then that would be an area where I'm looking for the rejection, 16.1 to 15.9. Okay, that is it for Chainlink. And everyone, have a good weekend. Trade safe out there. Make sure you're using proper stop losses, proper risk management. And I will see you soon.